Welcome back to House of Cards for another jam-packed video of all kinds of hobby tips and tricks and insights. Well, we got a video here with kind of a smorgasbord of different topics. We're going to first off kind of show some of the mail day deliveries that have been coming to me over this last week or so. I'm also going to give you a little bit of insight to PSA's SMR or Sports Market Report magazine that they send out to the Collectors Club members. Just kind of show you kind of what the magazine's all about. Maybe you can decide if you want to get a subscription to that. And then finally, we're going to kind of wrap up with a quick demo on how to ship out eBay sales of cards and just kind of best practices so you come across as a professional eBay seller and you can send things out that are well packaged and are safe and sound to travel through the mail to their final destination. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. Got this guy in today. If you're not aware, this is PSA's I think it's quarterly, maybe it's monthly, it says November, magazine that they send out to their Collectors Club members. And if you didn't get in on the Collectors Club before they shut it down a few weeks back, then you missed out. But when you pay the fee, which gives you 15 free vouchers for grading. This is the highest level one. I'm talking about the platinum, I believe it was. The platinum level gives you 15 grading vouchers, and then you also get a subscription to this magazine. And I think you're supposed to get something else, like a backpack or something. Anyways, not sure. But anyways, get this magazine monthly, and it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of good information in it. One thing that's kind of silly is the old, the actual price guides, which I don't know why they still do this, because I feel like this is very antiquated, and these obviously aren't up to date on a regular basis, especially today's market that's so darn volatile. It seems kind of silly, but the other articles they have in it that talk about different collectible sets and players, tons of advertising from different auction houses and different stores and so on and so forth. So it's a pretty cool magazine. Last month they had a great article on Magic the Gathering. I didn't know anything about it, so I read a lot and learned a lot. This one's talking about Michael Jordan game tickets collection. So anyways, there's a lot of cool stuff in here if you kind of like to deep dive into the world of collecting and just kind of that whole thing. It's just good to always further educate yourself, I think. And I think that's something that a lot of people tend to just get their little quick sound bites from the YouTube shows and stuff. Not saying that this one isn't great and valuable, but there's a lot more ways to sort of get your collector's information out there. So if you don't have that, maybe PSA will restart the program again. I don't know if you can sign up for it on a standalone basis where you can just get a subscription. But I know when you sign up for the Collectors Club, that's one of the things they include. So anyways, hopefully they'll bring that back soon once they get caught up on all their back orders. I do have one package today, so I figure that would be something we can open real quick. And again, I don't even know what these are, to be 100% honest with you. I just kind of open them as they come in and, want to just kind of share that experience with you guys. Checking the mail sure is fun when you're a collector. Tell you what, before all I got was bills and crap that I was not super stoked to see. But once you start buying cards and stuff, checking the mail is like the best part of the day. I swear, I'm like waiting for the mailman like a kid waiting for the ice cream truck. Oh man, some of these things well packaged. I gotta give this person a lot of credit. Definitely they get an A+ for securing their packaging. So this is the way I do my mailers too. I put it inside of a team bag, and then the extra piece of cardboard is a nice touch because that gives it even more rigidity to not bend. Oh wow, and they did the extra mile by putting other top loaders in there with the card that I bought. So hey, look at that, Nick Foles rookie card. I mean, it's actually not a, usually they're like, you know, throwaway cards that people add in, but Nick Foles is actually, you know, not a terrible quarterback, so that's cool to have. And they threw in a, wow, a DeAndre Swift mosaic rookie card. Huh. Yeah. I feel bad now because I always throw like the worst commons and just I mean like stuff that's not even worth a penny most cases. But of course, you know me, Russell Wilson is my PC, and so I grabbed this. This was an Elite 2012, so his rookie year. It's kind of a refractor. It's like kind of like one of those like lighter refractors. It's not as like crazy as like Topps Chrome refractors, but it still has some cool shine to it once you get in the right light there. What I love about it is that it's a number card, so even though it's a pretty high number, you know, I mean, number cards are, you know, they are what they are. They're finite, you know, there's no more of them. That's all there is. So there's definitely it's a nice pickup, and I'm excited to add this to the collection. So I think this one is slightly off-centered, so I'm not like expecting this to be like a perfect 10 or anything. I think it's pushed a little bit heavy on the left side. So if you kind of look, a quick indicator is just look at these little lines, I guess you call them. You see how the lines coming in this side are a little bit longer than the lines coming in on this side. So in a perfect world, they would be perfectly centered. You know, even, I guess I would say, on both sides would be the same distance and length of the lines. But it's the back. The front, it's harder to tell because there's not like a really clear indicator. I'm assuming that this gap here is supposed to be the same as the gap between here and the R, but I don't know for sure if that's the case. Down here, you can kind of eyeball this distance between the S in Seattle and the S at the end of Seahawks there. It doesn't look too far off. I would say this side's a little bit wider, and if that's the case, then that makes sense because this side's a little bit wider. Whoops, sorry. This side's a little bit wider than this. So we'll see. Anyways, definitely still going to get it graded, even if it is a little bit off-centered. And I'd love to grab a couple more of these because they're still pretty fairly priced. They're under $100, which, you know, if you're talking about a potentially an all-time great, you know, having a numbered rookie card from a set that's, you know, it's not one of the like upper echelon sets, but it's still a pretty well, you know, respected set. Elite is, you know, definitely has been pretty solid over the years, so I think it's a pretty good investment. So anyways, something I'm pretty excited to add to my PC. Got another package here. Just got one here, and I think this one is the card I spoke about on my last video before this one, that I was pretty stoked that I won on auction. I got it for a pretty decent price, so yeah, let's check it out. So I already knew this card wasn't a Gem Mint 10 just because of the centering. Considering it's next to imperfect for these cards, but there it is. The refractor. So I'm gonna have to inspect this guy a little bit closer. But you can see the centering left to right. Right's a little bit heavier, but the top to bottom looks pretty clean. So you know, when you're thinking about this in a sense of where the grades could fall, because I'm sending all these into BGS. Reason being is because I think that I have a better chance of getting a 9.5 than I do at getting a 10, and a 9.5 still holds more value than a 9. And so that's kind of my strategy with these cards. If it looks like it could get a 10, I'll definitely send it to PSA because I know the value there is so much higher in terms of resale. But you know, if it has a flaw like this one, obviously is off center. This is, you know, kind of probably beyond the 60-40. I'd say it would be like 65-35 ish, you know. So it's, you know, it's not really worth my time, you know, to send it into PSA because it's going to come back best case scenario a 9. But if I can get away with a 9 on the centering, the corners look pretty legit on this. So let's just say I can get a 9.5 on the corners. Edges, you know, pretty good. The chrome card's always tough because the edges are never like smooth. They're always a little choppy, but let's just call the 9.5 on the edges, and then if the surface comes back decent, you know, maybe a 9.5, then, you know, there you go. I can get a 9.5. You know, obviously it's not a true gem, you know, all four 9.5s, because definitely won't get that with the off centering, but it can still get a 9.5, and that to me is, you know, the best case scenario. So hopefully I can get that. You know, if it comes back a BGS 9, most likely I'll probably crack it and send it off to PSA, because I'd rather have a PSA 9, assuming that I could possibly get one if there's not any major issues. So it looks pretty clean front to back, looks good. So I'm gonna have to take this out of this weird screw down case. Hopefully that didn't cause any issues. I did ask the guy when I was buying it to remove it and look at the surface, and you know, he did that for me. So he said there was no like major surface issues. He said there might have been a few light scratches on the top corner, but I'll take a look at that, and you know, hopefully that won't be anything major. So at any rate, I'm excited to have this card now in my collection, and it's just one more closer to the rainbow that I'm trying to get. So yeah, it's awesome. Hey, I wanted to spend a second showing you kind of best practices for shipping cards when you're selling them specifically on eBay. Because I think a lot of people get confused on how to send cards out after they sell them, and it's a very important part of the process of being a card sports card collector, investor, whatever you want to call it, is actually being able to sell a card properly. And that starts from how you list it all the way until how you actually ship the card once it sells. So today we're just going to kind of talk about shipping, and I'm just going to kind of show you a quick example with a card that I just recently sold on eBay. So without further ado, the first thing you want to do is obviously pull up your listing, and you're going to want to go into eBay and then find out you know, the shipping address and all those things. eBay does have a direct shipping component where you can actually pay for the shipping directly through eBay, which they'll just deduct it from your PayPal or whatever payment method you have set up, and it gives you a nice shipping label that you can print out and then affix it to whatever package that you're going to send it in. So besides that part of it, I just wanted to kind of show you the best way to sort of put your card into a nice, safe, protective sort of you know, package. So when it does mail out, you won't have any issues with it getting damaged or getting any kind of you know, problems that may cause a return or anything along those lines. So I'm just going to kind of show you real quick. So this is the card that we just sold. So nice Rob Gronkowski rookie Topps Chrome Refractor, the purple. So this one is numbered out of 555. So it's a nice card. So definitely, you know, higher value card. Definitely want to make sure this guy's protected and well taken care of on his journey to his new home. So first thing you want to do is take it from, you know, being in its penny sleeve here, and make sure you put it in some sort of a hard top loader. Typically top loaders are the way to go. You can use, you know, mags and other one-touch things, but you know, for cost effective purposes, I think it's best to use top loaders because again, they're fairly cheap. Make sure you use one that's not all dinged and batted up. You know, it's like it's just kind of part of presentation as being a seller. It's like, imagine going to a store and you buy your goods and they give you some like ratty tatty bag to put it in to take it home, and you're just like, what? That kind of ruins the user experience there. And this is kind of in the same vein as that. Is, you know, the way you present it and the way it arrives and all that kind of is important as much as the card being in good shape and, you know, correctly listed, and if there's any damage to the card, you call it out in your listing. I mean, these are all just kind of basic 101 merchant sort of things that you want to kind of live by as a now you are a merchant, because you're selling things online and people are buying them from you. So start using some of those best practices. Always be transparent, always be honest, and always, you know, do a good job in how you package and present your items you have for sale. Okay, so now you got it in a top loader. The next step is what I do is you're gonna print out the it's the invoice / packing slip. So when you're in eBay, you'll actually see a part you can go to that says print invoices or packing slips. So what I do is I typically fold it down pretty close to the size of the card, you know, somewhere in that ballpark, so it's pretty comparable, and get that next to the card. Another thing that I know a lot of people do is they use some sort of a hard, kind of rigid piece of cardboard or whatever you have around. These little cardboard placards come in certain packs of cards. So whenever I get these from other people shipping things to me, I keep them and reuse them. Why not? Because they're great for this specific purpose. And then sometimes it's fun to kind of add a couple other cards in. I don't really know what the real purpose of this is. Like, is it just assuming that someone's gonna like rip open the envelope, peek inside, and see what's in there, and then if they see some like common cards, they're not gonna be as excited to steal it? I don't really know, but it seems like everyone does it, so I just kind of picked it up as habit. But I always pick a couple common cards that are actually in the same sort of ballpark of the card that you sold. So maybe the same team, or maybe the same, I don't know, set, or something that kind of, at least the same sport is probably the best way. But for this one, since it's Rob Gronkowski, I don't know if they're a New England fan or if they're a Tampa Bay fan, but either way, I had a couple New England comments here. So a little Dion Branch, and then little Aaron Hernandez. I thought that was kind of funny. If you know, you know. Anyways, these will be my kind of common distraction cards, we'll call them. And then what you want to do is you want to get a team bag. Team bags are pretty cheap, and you can find them pretty easily anywhere, more or less. Jump on eBay or jump on Amazon, you can find those there. So grab a team bag, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of package all this up into your team bag. So first thing I do is I put in my card that I sold. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the stiff piece of material, cardboard, whatever you have. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick in the packing slip. And again, if the package is a little too long, it's okay. You could fold it over, but once you go to close it, it'll probably cover it, but we'll just fold it over so it's a little bit easier to manage. There you go. And then if you want to put your little distraction cards on the outside there, just kind of makes for a funny, I've had some pretty funny ones arrive before. Actually, if you saw my last video, I actually had a couple good ones arrive. Cool. And you take off your adhesive, and then you just tightly seal that all up into a nice tidy little package there. So you got your distraction cards. No one's gonna open an envelope and say, oh wow, Aaron Hernandez Topps card, cool, I want to steal this package. So I guess that's kind of the point, right? So anyways, now this is ready to go. It's super strong. It's not going to bend. There's no way you can just get this. You can stick this directly into your bubble mailer. And typically I like bubble mailers that are roughly 4 by 6. And so you're just going to slip that right in there. You can write do not bend on it. I think that's a nice touch. Just to kind of give it that one extra layer of protection. And then once you get your label from eBay or whatever shipping service you use, then you're just going to fix it right there, seal everything up nice and tidy, and go take that to the post office. And there you have it. That's how you would package and send a card. Okay, another episode down. Thanks again for everyone who has subscribed thus far. We are small but mighty, and hopefully we'll keep growing those numbers. So if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button, and please like the video if you like it. If you hate it, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is all good either way. All right, until next time, peace.